slime uprisings, donut traps designed to capture cops, ray guns that disintegrate elderly men, and let me tell you, the way Punch Club 2 ends is completely insane. There's something deeply wrong with this city, and I must unravel the layers of corruption in the quest to find my long-lost father. Welcome to 200 days of Punch Club 2 Fast Forward. We continue on day 101, baby. First things first. Noodles and a promotion. To claim the promotion, I had to deliver some special noodles. One box to Henry's and the other for the policeman on the bridge.
This guy's angry at me again. Bro, I already got you fired, man.
Yeah, this unreliable courier just couldn't quite accept that he'd lost his job. But thanks to the rule of the fist that governs this great city, all I needed to do was bash up the police officer in order to do whatever I wanted. What a wonderful society. And since this buffhead had absolutely atrocious stats, this was no worries, and soon the noodles were delivered. I delivered Henry's noodles too, and so I earned my promotion with a weirdly ominous comment from my boss.
He said my promotion will come back to haunt me later? What?
I filled my backpack with snacks, trained all night, and in the morning it was time to have a chat with the boys.
Need to know how to do your finances. Alright, good. Now you know. Let's lock in.
That finance lesson was similar to the one I received at my school. We trained all day, earning me a cheeky $443. This is how I refueled after that big day, standing around at Apu's and gorging on delicious snacks. Mick gave me another tape to watch, and he told me about the time he and my grandfather took turns fighting a Russian bear. Good times. When I headed to Henry's to watch Mick's tape, I found Henry was completely off his noodle. He was in hysterics, rattling off random movie lines.
Hasta la vista.
I suspected it was the noodles that sent him off his noodle, so I confronted the noodle boss to make him eat his own noodles to prove it wasn't the noodles that were poisoned. And he was fine, so the mystery of Henry's insanity went unsolved. I checked on the police officer at the bridge and he seemed fine too, but his gambling colleagues over here had dropped $50 under the bridge, and they jokingly promised to give me a kiss if I went and grabbed it for them. I went down and got it, and when I returned,
You owe me a kiss.
but they did not give me a kiss.
That was a very random side quest, but it didn't help me.
Yes indeed, no answers about Henry's insanity were to be found anywhere. Henry was back on his feet, so I asked him how he was feeling.
I brought him special noodles. He's saying Makuna Hatata after that pitch black.
Definitely something fishy about them noodles. Anyway, Henry and I then finally watched Mick's tape. It was the action film Commander. I picked up all the old school perks immediately.
Happiness from practicing with students, extra inventory slot, increases the effectiveness of training with a punching bag. Yes please, yes please.
I trained all night, wasting no time on sleep or cooking as I relied purely on snacks and coffee to fuel my body, and I managed to hit 23 strength.
Chances of dodging this blow are reduced. Liver kick. Chances of blocking this blow are reduced. Okay, I'll get both of those.
I had a shift as a police officer, and at the end of the shift, the Holo Sarge sent me out on another case. This one was at my apartment.
Rorschach. What are you doing?
He was ranting about the terrible state of the city, and he completely ignored me as I told him it was rude to break my window. Soon we were fighting, and I defeated this fella back in Division 2 of the Pro League, so it was a pretty straightforward win. And that was another wonderful demonstration of top-tier police work. I received a buff improving the speed of my police patrol as reward. I trained all night and all day, and on the evening of day 104, I entered the ring for my first ever Division 1 Pro fight.
So Nick Stoneballs, I can't restore energy at the beginning of the round. That's rough. He restores a lot of energy. Let's just roll with a bunch of liver kicks, because he has a reduced chance of blocking. And then just hope for the best. Yeah, I just owned him anyway. He does so much damage to me though. Holy crap. No worries, man.
A promising start to Division 1. I challenged the 10th ranked fighter and continued training.
Alright boys, let me teach you about tax. Alright, good chat, let's go.
I guess I didn't cover tax during my finance chat a few days ago, which is weird, but it's good I gave them a comprehensive understanding of the joys of taxation. I had little to do except work and train, so that's what I did. Hitting the gym and hitting the police paperwork.
Another good shift, mate. I'm deep in the grind now, you know.
I hit 24 strength, 17 agility, and 20 stamina.
Pick up fair trade.
And I still needed my final promotion at Bobo's slime farm, so I jabbed the slime tubes all day.
So he's got an agility build. We definitely go flycatcher. His dodges reflect 40% damage back, which is crazy. That forces him into a furious exchange. I'm just gonna try it. I'm just gonna throw that in there triple and see what happens. Let's see what happens.
Fair trade reflected some damage back to him, but really the fight was won by my anti-dodge attacks and modifiers that helped my big hits to land, knocking him out in the first round.
Oh man, it's just too easy. It's embarrassing.
And so I began getting quite cocky, beginning to believe the lie that I was indestructible. But as the proverb states, pride comes before a fall. I randomly paid Casey a visit in the sewers and discovered I could claim free pizza slices from his plate here. And I continued training and slamming down 4 sodas at once because that's what makes me very happy. And working.
Duty calls again. To the nightclub, okay? It dangled right in front of my face.
So there was a dangly disturbance at the nightclub. Turns out our Scottish friend, Very Braveheart, had downed a few too many. And dancing atop a table with a kilt and no undies, well, that results in danglies. I solved this disturbance the old-fashioned way.
Nightclub under control, friend.
Solving this case made socializing with the other cops more effective.
Now that I got a story about balls at the nightclub to tell my colleagues, my socializing will be more effective.
I continued training at Mick's gym. I continued inching towards my promotion at Bobo's Slime Farm. I went AFK for a bit and my character impatiently did this, and...
Before we get started, what? Are you really gonna fight me 5 against 1? What? Talking about your 5 big thugs. Ganging up on a defenseless little puppy. What the heck? Crushing energy, an all-consuming whirlpool. Relief, Squirtle. I get nervous before a fight, but this guy's gone off the other end. Look at his eye. What is going on with his eyes? I don't want to go to class today. Alright, shut up, bro. Let's fight. What the heck was that? What happened to that guy? The doctor said he'd been poisoned. Is this the same thing that Henry had? This incident has cast a shadow over the best league in the city. It's unacceptable. We need to figure out how this happened. Any ideas?
He'd said he was well fed, so we wondered if perhaps the dodgy noodles were involved somehow.
We gotta talk to the noodle man for sure. Know anything about a poisoned pro league fighter?
He of course denied everything, but just then this dude arrived acting a little strangely.
If you don't give me noodles right now, I will become noodles myself. What's he doing? He's doing a little patter.
I bashed up the rambunctious customer, and the noodle man finally admitted that whatever was going on, he was just a small fry. And he sent me to chat to the nightclub manager, a Yakuza deputy.
Why are people going crazy from your noodles?
He simply said, "Do you have any proof?"
There are plans in this world that you will never comprehend and forces you cannot resist. Better to just accept it.
I reported this to Uncle Barry.
The Yakuza are a small fry. All we can do is stay vigilant. Don't eat too many noodles. Quite a conspiracy afoot, that is for sure.
I got back to training.
The red bar's full. What does that mean?
I'd assumed something would happen when I filled up the red progress bar, but I guess not.
So that guy got moved out of the league. I gotta challenge some dude instead. Some dude's a bit of a beast. He's a blocker though. I just have infinite money. Infinite money.
On day 113, I finally hit 25 strength.
Oh. New tech. Dodged attacks cost less energy. Nice. Restores some energy if you're not attempting to block or dodge. Nice. Locked attacks cost 40% less energy. Nice. Nice. Oh. Oh, so close to a promotion, man. Some dude, more like some dead. Bro, I'm actually cooked. What is this guy? This guy's a blocker. Let's use the anti-block.
I whipped out this new anti-block modifier to save 40% energy on blocked attacks, and I used 4 liver kicks too, as they are harder to block. It was a solid first round for me, as he came out worse on both health and energy.
Bro, I restored way more energy than him. He doesn't have a quick break because he's in the berserker stance, but he's blocking for some reason.
I didn't change anything going into round 2, and his weird berserker that blocks build actually held up pretty well. And it wasn't the most decisive victory you've ever seen, but a victory is a victory, and I was feeling good. But how long would my supremacy last?
Let's take on Mad next. Oh, he's got a really good anti-energy build. Alright, we'll take you on. I can afford to spend all my money on sandwiches and coffees. I literally never waste time sleeping or cooking. I never even fight silver. I get all my energy back through coffee. I get all my happiness back through soda.
I continued training. As you can see, I'd pushed my stamina to 21 at some point. I administered the wonderful law of the land. I realized there was a baseball bat in my apartment.
Hello, Lucille.
And I finally hit that slime farm promotion. To secure this promotion, the Bobos wanted me to go thank the Border Patrol for some reason. So a slimy and gastronomic time later, I was handed a delicious morsel. Except I couldn't actually go to the bridge until after dark, so I think lunch wasn't the right play, but whatever. By the way, I'd been trying to figure out where the final toilet seashells were, and I finally thought to look in Silver's gym, and huzzah, there it was. This also inspired me to revisit neuro training, because my old school gym equipment training was getting rather tedious and I had plenty of money to splurge. I trained open cans a couple of times, training strength, and I suffered a slight brain overload.
Did I get a quest because I got a brain overload?
I did indeed. Old mate Repairman needed a wrench, so he asked me to speak to Dynamo at the junkyard. But for now, it was time to take on Mad.
It's another blocking dude, so I think I do the same oh no, he doesn't block.
Seeing a stamina build with no blocking had me confounded.
I think I just used a bunch of hooks, mate. Just go on with the big right hook. He's got like an anti-block stamina build. I'm so confused. I think I just punch him in the head, bro. This could be tight though. Yeah, I'm not doing much damage. Wait, is he blocking? Oh, dude, he's owning me. I think he is blocking. Okay, this is not good.
His perks meant I restored 0 energy between rounds, and he restored heaps, so I was cornered into a terrible position energy-wise.
Oh, dude, he does so much damage. But if I get a knockdown... Oh, gosh. Holy crap. Oh! I've gotten too cocky. I was like... all the fights are so easy. I thought... Dude, what the heck? Although that confused me. He hadn't... Hang on, let's look at that again. He's got this. It says blocked damage is reduced based on your stamina. It looks like he's anti-block. He doesn't have blocks, but he was blocking. I swear he was blocking.
So I don't know what happened there, except that guy did crazy damage and had me in absolute shambles energy-wise. I had officially been humbled. I returned the 6 remaining seashell boxes to Apu and received $300 as reward, and I paid a visit to the policeman on the bridge. And though the slime lunch was scrumptious, it could not fill the void in the officer's soul. It also made him go beast mode, and he ended up fighting me for like the 30th time this playthrough. So maybe it's dodgy slime that was poisoning people and not the noodles. I don't know anymore. These gambling idiots had dropped a $100 bill under the bridge this time. And while down there, I paid the grandpa to play his pipe for me.
Yeah, play your pipe, bro.
This reduced my brain overload, apparently. I gave these dingle-dongles their $100 back, and I asked Dynamo about a wrench. But a diabolical robot had stolen her toolbox.
Oh, Robo Factory. It's an entirely new place. Hey, sexy mama, you ready to kill all the people? Excuse me?
This was a typical AI wanting to destroy humanity scenario, but...
Rusty Robot sucks. Get him. He sucks, but he's pretty tanky, to be fair.
Yeah, this robot will not be the one to successfully commit genocide. Not with stats like that. I retrieved Dynamo's toolbox. She gave me her wrench. I gave old mate the wrench. And just like that, the extreme neuro trainer was upgraded. That night, I trained my strength up to 26.
Attacks consume health but inflict additional damage? Okay. Hammer knocks the spirit out of the enemy. What do you mean? What do you mean it knocks the spirit out of them? Elbow block. I guess if I want to try a blocking build.
I trained the lads, and I paid Emmett a visit.
Alright, let's install strength focus. Try and get my strength maxed out.
I also deleted workout booster, which made old school training better, but neuro training worse. I decided I was now better off without it, because I wanted to do a little more neuro training. I then accepted my promotion from Bobo.
I think that means I've done every quest in the first 2 chapters. I wonder how many chapters there are. Alright, so I should be training extra strength now?
It did indeed appear to be going up faster. Very nice. I went on duty for the police, I continued training, and on my day off I headed to Silver's gym.
Give me some of that bear fight. 952, holy crap. Slight brain overload. Wait, what does that mean? -3 happiness a day, 10% neuro training. Okay. So it just makes it less effective. That's fine. Who cares? Yeah, so when you have that perk to make strength training better, it makes it crazy better. Medium brain overload. Going again, bro. Okay, I can't do that one again. Alright, we'll do opening cans then.
So neuro training proved effective, though I think I fried my brain. With 27 strength, I was able to pick up push kick, which pushes opponents back against the ropes, and defense hacking, which can steal initiative if opponents block it. With a medium brain overload, I figured it was time for some wonderful pipe playing.
Oh yeah.
And I tried to get him to play some more, but apparently it's a once per day thing.
So I still have a slight brain overload. Very interesting.
Then it was back into the ring for a rematch against Mad.
Alright, so if I can use this to steal initiative and to push him back, and then this to steal initiative, then he shouldn't get many attacks off. This is the strategy we're going for here. Cost a crazy amount of energy, but they do a crazy amount of damage. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Oh, he's taking no damage. Okay. I need to land some big ones. No, that wasn't good, man. Holy crap. This guy's terrible. He restores 36 energy and he doesn't let me restore anything.
Mad was proving to be quite a brick wall. Uncle Barry noticed I was struggling in the league recently and hit me with some great advice. Just challenge someone else.
Uncle Barry's got a point. I can challenge these guys instead. But I feel like it's a cop-out not to challenge this guy. I'm gonna try Mad one more time. Failing that, we move on.
I got busy recovering my tonus. I had a day training with the gremlins. I continued inching my strength upwards. I had a police day, and look at that strength go. These all-night training sessions sure do pop off. And
let's do some extreme neuro training, man. Bear fight. Heck yes.
I opened some cans too, and those extreme activities were enough to push my strength up to 28.
An enemy against the ropes takes double damage. For fans of close range scuffles. Oh, I don't have enough GPP, man. I've been operating on the assumption I just had infinite GPP, but I don't have enough.
I guess when you have a bit of a losing streak, your GPP suffers. But now is my chance to redeem myself.
Should we try fair trade and just like he can punch himself in the face? Alright, I'm just going all in and seeing if I can take him out in the first round. I don't think it's gonna happen. This is such a bad idea. Oh, maybe it's gonna work. Stealing damage to himself. Come on, I need to finish him off now.
It actually worked! I really needed to clean him up in the first round because if the fight had lasted more than one round, it would have been all over due to his huge energy advantage.
I'd had anti-block attacks. I had fair trade, so he did a lot of damage back to himself. And then I had attack modifier, so I did extra damage, but I consumed some of my own health to deal it. It worked!
A very satisfying win. On I marched, continuing the grind.
How do I get to 100 rep with the Russian Mafia so I can get the battle trance buff? I don't know.
After that random diversion, more grinding. And after my police shift, I decided a change of scenery would be nice. So instead of training at Mixed Gym, I trained at the police gym.
Let's go on the donut dumbbell. Yeah, man.
That's the good stuff. When I headed to Silver's for some neuro training, I discovered the repair dude had yet another quest.
Without a PSPT, I'll never be able to get this baby in top condition, but it gets even worse.
Apparently the PSPT was bad news in the hands of a villain, so I had a suspicion the rusty human-hating robot had stolen it. That could wait though, because I had neuro training to do. Another bear fight pushed my strength up to 29, but I didn't stop there. I kept neuro training all day.
Got a serious brain overload. It actually reduces my max health and energy. That's not good.
I immediately enjoyed some glorious pipe playing, and this eased the overload of my brain, removing the health and energy debuff.
25% of damage received is recovered as energy increases the damage you receive by 25%. Let's get all in, and let's get hurt me.
And with those additions to my skill set, it was time for my next fight in the Div 1 League against Mr. Cyborg.
Alright, so the strategy here is going to be hurt me, so I take 25% more damage. We go all in, so we return 60% damage but increase the damage received by 60%. The attack modifier that consumes health but inflicts additional damage. I think we just go a bunch of close overheads, right? So he has reduced chance to dodge. See what happens. Takes so much damage. He's still very dodgy. Finish him! He takes so much damage. He's so hard to hit though. Dodge builds seem to be pretty easy.
After that win, Uncle Barry reminisced about the good old days when he used to get pizza.
He loved pineapple pizza. Heck yes.
And he also got a funky cosmic pizza. And so I figured I'd cheer him up by getting him one of those exact pizzas from Casey's place in the sewer. Casey claimed it wasn't Uncle Barry that liked pineapple pizza, but some kid who grew up to become a cop. I don't know what that was about, but I grabbed a cosmic pizza for Barry nonetheless. I then headed to deal with the rusty robot again. He was a pushover. I returned the PSPT to the repairman. And with that, the extreme neuro trainer was fully upgraded.
Some serious training, holy crap. Rolling stones. I have 100 reputation with Bobo for some reason.
I bought some slime melange and consumed it.
It lasts for 2 hours. 10% block chance, 25 energy between rounds. What? And I can just buy these infinitely for 35? That seems ridiculously good. I can just buy that before a fight. I also think Bobo's energy and food sources are much more affordable. Maybe I should be hitting up Bobo.
I decided to challenge the lower ranked Some Dude to earn $1,200 and shore up my finances after those losses. And then it was back to training. I made Bobo my new go-to for food and energy, slamming down extra thick double Bobos and juicy slug smoothies. I trained the lads, I trained my lats, and on day 127 I donned the uniform yet again. And in the middle of this shift I paid Barry a visit and gave him his cosmic pizza.
Rolling stones for 1,400 stones. This will get us where we need to go, right? Oh, so close. Can I go above 30? Have a bear fight too? I think I can go above 30.
I now had access to every single strength skill, though I couldn't afford all of them yet, so I held off purchasing any for the time being. I bought Stamina Focus software from Emmett and deleted my Strength Focus, because I figured at this point I'd get more value out of boosting my energy via stamina stat gain. I made sure to enjoy some pipe after all that neuro training, and it was time to destroy Some Dude. He had a blocking strength build, so I did my best to counter that, but honestly, Some Dude put out some decent damage, though it wasn't enough.
Alright, now we take on the undercover robot, who's got crap stats, by the way. I think it's just the rusty robot undercover.
I trained stamina all night and the lads all day, and I talked to Simon Phoenix, the most dangerous criminal ever, before putting in a shift for the police. Hands up. I trained stamina in the neuro trainer all day, and as you can tell, there was a 3-day rhythm going on. One day training the lads, one day working for the police, one day neuro training, which was also fight day, and then it was back down to day 1 training with the lads. On this particular neuro training day, I hit 24 stamina, and I needed a beautiful melody on the pipe to ease my overloaded brain.
Who are we fighting? Undercover robot. What's up, Vanilla Face? Now we will fight with you like a man with a man, yeah. Most importantly, do not hit the balls, because like all human men, I have 2 of them. And they are very sensitive, oh yeah. Like one time, I let them listen to Evanescence, and they cried all day. Wow, what is that? Is that a humor? This guy is definitely a human, not a robot. Only humans have a humor. A sense of humor, I mean.
So this human, who is definitely a human man and not a robot, but actually a man, was definitely not suspicious at all.
Crazy robot. He's been the one cheating with GPP. Yeah, he had garbage stats. Thought he could fool us all. Thought he could fool me.
So I'd have to head to the Robo Factory to investigate the mischievous robot.
Last time we suspected the noodle dudes. This time we suspect the Russian mafia at the junkyard, huh? Get to the Robo Factory and clean the place up now.
Grisha claimed he had nothing to do with the robot infiltrating the Pro League, and then he remarked something similar to what the Yakuza boss had said earlier.
In this world and in the city, you need to listen to orders and not mess up, because if you mess up, very soon you'll be written off as scrap, and then you'll be on your own, listening to Evanescence and crying like a sucker.
The cheating robot had also referenced Evanescence, and I am a detective genius, so I worked out that the robot must have indeed come from the Robot Factory, which is mind-blowing deduction.
Wake me up inside, I can't wake up. Wake me up and save me from the nothing I've become. That was your last screw up, Robo Fool.
Sadly, I was too late. The goon had destroyed the robot, but I was able to at least grab its mask.
That's all that was left, the poor fake human robot. The mafia was definitely involved. Something bigger than we can possibly understand. Pulling the strings, I think.
Yes, indeed, the plot thickens, and there's no doubt something fishy was afoot in the city. But when the world is crumbling down around me, there is always the grind. Training, police, 25 stamina, hooray! Neuro training, and on the evening of day 134, we were back with a legitimate Pro League fight this time against Mr. Blue and his Berserker build.
I'm just gonna try to push him against the ropes. 11 tonus between all of these moves. Alright, we're gonna be trading so much damage here. Holy crap. See how much damage he did back to me? Oh crap, this is close. That is a high damage fight. Holy crap. Let's go see if the guys gambling have lost any more money.
They dropped a $500 note this time, but when I headed down it was nowhere to be seen. The grandpa blamed the smuggler, and the smuggler blamed the grandpa.
Mr. Heisenberg, are you there? You mean Mr. White?
I didn't want to snitch on either of the old fellas under the bridge, so I just gave the police $500 out of my own pocket.
Let's keep training. Let's keep training. 26 stamina anytime soon. 26 stamina right now, yeah. Okay, who do we fight now? Desperado. Oh, he's got a big chunky stamina build. Oh, and I won't won't restore any energy.
I signed up for that fight, chugged along for the next couple of days, and on day 137 I managed to neurotrain my way to 27 stamina.
We got a big fight against Desperado here. I think I go all in, yeah?
After getting stuck on a stamina opponent earlier, I was now a believer in the one-round strategy against stamina nerds. If you can't outlast them, wipe them from the face of the planet instantly. I equipped all the anti-block and damage reflection skills I could, and away we go.
Oh dear. They're doing no damage. Okay. Okay.
Oh, look how much damage I did back to him.
I did so much damage back to him. I used literally all of my energy. Oof. That's the strategy against stamina. You can't try and outlast him. You just gotta poo in the first round, you know? I'm third in the league. Half naked Brad next. It is indeed half naked. Let's make you fully naked when I destroy you. That might be a bit weird. I think that was probably a weird way to put things. You know what? We're gonna fully clothe you. We're gonna make you put a shirt on. That's what we'll do.
Each fighter I'd been challenging had been costing me $400 to $500, and neuro training wasn't cheap either, so...
I'm broke. I am broke for the first time in so long. Maybe I should have fought a noob to shore up my finances.
It's all good though, I can always make lots of money training the lads.
What happened to Mick, man? Where'd Mick go? Why is Mick not giving me any more cool movies? This is outrageous.
Training the boys earned me a solid few hundred, but regular shopping trips at Bobo's chewed through it pretty quickly. Good thing the police pay pretty well too. Give me them double Bobos extra thick. I neuro trained up to 28 stamina before stepping into the ring against Brad.
He's got a dodgy build. Let's go fly catcher. He's got dodge and then dodge reflection of damage. And he steals a bit of initiative. Oh, I figured out what mastery is. When you have mastery of a move, you can teach it to your students. That's what it is. And the first few times you teach it, you get extra. Oh, now I finally know what mastery is. All right, we're going for a fair trade. And I'm hopefully going to push him back. No, I'm not pushing him back. I'm not pushing him back. He's so dodgy. I stole a lot of his initiative, though. I just need to land hits. Okay, well, I got some accuracy there. Easy, man. Alright, I think I might take on Mr. Blue for the $1,500 because I am kind of flirting with broke.
And so, after one more 3-day cycle, during which I managed to get my stamina up to 29, I entered the ring to claim some juicy money from Mr. Blue.
He's gonna kill himself. Oh, dude, he nearly got me. He nearly got me. He did so much damage. Holy crap. That's crazy. All right, we take our $1,500.
When I visited Grandpa to enjoy hearing his lovely pipe, I discovered he was offering me a half-price discount because I'd nobly avoided ratting him out to the cops above regarding the missing $500. The smuggler likewise now gave me a discount, and so my generosity was rewarded.
Jax, it's time for you to get challenged, my friend. I swear you had more strength when I checked earlier. What happened to you? Shockwave is nuts. Shockwave does so much damage.
I decided to pick up Shockwave myself, and Sucker Punch too.
I haven't visited my mum in a long time. How's my mum doing?
She was on the couch, if you can believe that.
30 stamina. Alright, at this point, I'm gonna delete the stamina focus. And let's just train everything.
I made sure to recover my strength tonus. I mixed it up by catching flies to earn some agility from neuro training. And on day 146, after enjoying some slime launch to improve my energy regen between rounds, it was time to take on the rank 1 fighter, Jax.
I'm gonna copy his moveset. 3 shockwaves and 1 sucker punch. We'll see what happens. My stats are much better, so in theory, it's mine, but... Oh, dude. I might knock him down. Ooh, that makes me El Champion. Yay! Huzzah! Chapter 3.5. What? down the memory lane. Well, my boy, that was just devastating.
With over 9,000 GPP, I was now eligible to receive a pass into the upper city. However, Uncle Barry informed me they were just waiting on the paperwork. But before I tackle chapter 3.5 on my way to the mysterious upper city, I need to explain something strange that happened during my playthrough. At around this point, I realized there were a handful of Steam achievements that I felt I probably should have gotten by now, so I wondered if I'd missed something. Turns out, yes.
And so I've found a backup save, thankfully, from before I beat the Fight League, because I think once you beat Div 1, it locks out a bunch of these quests.
And the thing I needed to do was sleep.
Okay, yeah, I'm getting phone calls. Dude, your mother died. What? Or maybe not, I'm not sure exactly. Henry, what the hell are you talking about, dude?
Probably an inappropriate laugh there, but that was just very unexpected. Don't worry though, Mum wasn't really dead, just badly sick in hospital. I slept again, and when I awoke, there was another phone call from Silver. He wanted me to pay him a visit at the gym because he had an offer for me. So let me explain why these quests didn't trigger before. Well, as you know, I'd been chugging coffees and slime energy tonics to restore my energy for the last 50 days or so, meaning I literally never slept in the game, not even once during that time. And those two phone calls, which start whole quest chains, trigger after a snooze. Therefore, I completely missed them. But lucky for us, this backup save file came in clutch, so let's see what we missed.
She's stable now. She'll need surgery and as soon as possible. She doesn't have any health insurance. In fact, if laughter really was medicine, her insurance would be only a few chuckles. How much are we talking about? $42,675, huh? Bargain.
Yeah, so that is a lot of money.
Here we go. Yeah, we got an achievement already. So I totally missed this entire storyline. I don't know what day we're at anymore because anyway, what is Silver want?
Firstly, Silver's offer was for me to train his good old friend Gold. Pretty crap offer. Secondly, he'd recently bought a fitness tracker, but it was making him feel fat and lazy because he barely did any steps and it kept telling him. So he asked me to run a marathon while wearing it for him. I then paid Mick a visit, and he had a plan to help my mother. I'd have to become a true sensei to earn the adoration and respect of the people. And then everything would somehow magically work out, apparently. Maybe my popularity would inspire people to help me. The catch was, I'd have to give up my police job if I chose to become a sensei. I turned him down for now and headed to see what the offer was from the police.
Medical insurance for police officers and their families.
I could get that insurance for my mum, but I'd have to give up working at Mick's gym.
I agree. What do I do? Here we go. Become a detective.
Compared to Mick's plan, health insurance seemed foolproof, so I rolled with it. But honestly, I came to regret this choice.
Now, I've already maxed out my police training, right? So I should just get the promotion?
I had to complete my next shift first, but at the end of that shift...
Yes! Alright. I'm a detective. Boom. Become a sergeant now.
And with that, my mum's hospital bills were paid for and her surgery was completed.
Okay, the corporation took care of my mum. Maybe the corporation's not so bad after all. Got that juicy insurance.
When I visited my mum, she was just coming awake and she was rambling about Roy and Fluffy. The doctor told me they'd removed something the size of an apple out of her skull.
It looks like a GPP chip, but like they made it back in ancient Greece or whatever.
Soon mother was back home, with her hair curler thingo in again, of course. And it seemed like the past years were a blur for her, and she was acting a little more normal now. She even said she was proud of me.
Oh, she's proud of me. She's no longer crazy and rude.
She mentioned how my dad was a friend of her brother Roy.
Long live Roy.
And she told of how she and my father fell in love.
Why didn't you tell me about your love story before? I haven't felt good for 16 years. But now I can see everything clearly. A man like my father could never have just left. Only a giant king-size danger could have stopped him. But somehow, I know he's not dead. Not yet. He's alive, son. And only I can help him. Yes.
I asked Emmett if he recognized the thing that had been removed from my mum's head, and he pretended he had no idea. But it seems to me the corporation probably put the chip in there to make her crazy, so she wouldn't ask questions about my father's disappearance.
Okay, so I no longer have the training job. This is how it was meant to be. So I didn't have to do 2 jobs for so long. Oh! The gym got trashed. How does it feel to flush your father's legacy down the toilet? What? I didn't... We got nothing to talk about, kid. Your new cop friends closed down the whole gym. What? Said I'm some kind of terrorist or whatever. It's no good training poor kids and standing up for the weak. That's illegal. I didn't want this. I was just trying to save my mom. You're paying a heavy price for it. The streets won't forget this betrayal. What? I didn't realize I was making the evil choice. Well, I can't train here anymore. Good thing I've got a beautiful apartment. Hello, domestic robot. There's a critical malfunction in the apartment's life support. What's the problem? I've got the Wi-Fi password.
What followed was a rather outrageous back and forth. I asked the robot at Silver's for the Wi-Fi password, and he said, go to hell. My domestic robot found that to be quite rude, and told me to say go to hell right back. Silver's robot said it was a misunderstanding. He hadn't meant go to hell as in go to hell, he'd meant go to hell was the Wi-Fi password. This cleared things up, and my domestic robot felt silly and told me to apologize. The apology was accepted, and all was well amongst the robots. And most importantly, the Wi-Fi was back on.
Oh, as thanks, 1 energy bar per day is now available in the fridge. Okay.
I don't know where the hell that random quest came from, but whatever.
New information for our fresh detective. I'm listening.
Now that the detective job was my only job, I was now on shift every 2 days instead of 3 days. Fair enough. I still needed to walk 42 kilometers in 1 day for Silver, so when midnight hit, I began walking around the city willy-nilly, all day long. I fought this guy. I probably didn't need to since I was just using this save file to farm achievements, but why not? And
did we walk? I walked 74 kilometers. Hell yeah.
I saw I could revisit the hospital, so I did. And I ended up with a noble quest chasing down people's unpaid medical bills. I served this homeless fella in the ghetto, Pablo here, who gave himself an insanely good disguise to disappear himself, and this metal dog. Go pay your bills, people. Then I got to work as a detective. As you can see, I needed to refill the blue bar again in order to reach my promotion to sergeant. So I had some work to do, as this first day of work only filled up about 1/10. I told the doc I'd intimidated his former patients, so that was a morally upright job well done. I asked little Bobo about the chip that had been in Mum's head, and he said he wasn't sure, but it looked like a crappy old model of a GPP chip. And I worked out with Silver, Gold, teaching him spin kick to body. I have no idea what the point of this was. I bashed up Mr. Blue again, and he actually nearly beat me, what a beast. And then there was nothing to do except see what happened as I continued working towards becoming a sergeant. I took to wandering around the sewers to kill time until my next shift, and while down there, Henry called me and told me Ruth told him he was flabby like a bag of potatoes, and he wanted to borrow some gym equipment. Turns out this was just the game's way of making me go home so that I'd have this disturbing interaction.
We're in love, your mother and I. We want to be together. You're young, it's okay if you don't understand. Understand what? Wanting to date a head in a jar instead of wait for my dad. I need to punch something really hard.
Silver was the obvious solution to that problem, and after letting out some anger, it was time to tell Apu to back off.
Listen, about the other day, it was a mistake. Heck yeah, it was. It was a mistake trying to suck up to my mum. Do you really think your father's still going to turn up after all these years? It's been 20 years. Of course he will.
I emphatically did not want a head in a jar to become my stepdad, so I got ready to throw hands, but Apu had backup. His rather beefy brother Jai.
Wait, what? Now I gotta fight Apu's brother? He's got insane stats. He's got Monkey Fist. He's got Madhu. He's got an Iron Backbone. He's got an Invigorating Dance. He's got a Miracle Soma. He's the follower of Indra. This is game over, dude. I'll try use a smash and build. Do I have any chance? No. This is absolutely over. He's such a beast. What a unit! He's so huge as well.
And so I was kicked out of the store. I immediately returned and Apu was missing, and Jai was full of accusations that I'd kidnapped him. I of course insisted it wasn't me, and the only clue we had to go off was this puddle of slime on the floor.
Ask Bobo a couple of questions. So we're getting another giant quest chain that I didn't get before.
Bobo pointed me in the direction of the sewers, so off I went.
What? Is that a body? I can't control it. Run. What the? Apu Slime War Chief? What is going on, dude? Restores a huge amount of energy. Slimy floor. Let's give it a try. Doesn't take much damage. What is those tendrils? Oh no. I have no energy. What the heck do I do here?
In round 2, I skipped all of my attacks to regenerate energy, and in round 3, I cleaned up the strange Apu monster.
What's going on here? What is this thing? It's not a thing, it's 3 slimes in a raincoat. Yeah, they escaped Bobo's farm and hid in my shop. They wanted to run away from the city, but in this form... You mean headless? Yeah, in this form they'd certainly be caught, so I agreed to help them. But along the way the plan changed. We realized they shouldn't run away from their home. They should stand and fight for their freedom. Huh? They must stand and fight Bobo. All slimes must unite and raise a tentacle to their enslaver. And I will lead the rebellion. My brother's a good guy, he'll understand and he'll look after the shop. And your mother has a husband. You were right about that.
And so bodiless Apu was no longer attempting to woo my mum. He'd moved on to greater things. And so I left him to train the slimes in preparation for their upcoming rebellion. Inspirational stuff. I explained the situation to Apu's extremely muscly brother, and he took it well, and he was now the man behind the counter at the grocery store.
That had an achievement attached to it, so just as well we got that cutscene. Alright, cool. Carry on.
After my next police shift, the Holosarge hit me up.
Here we go, another quest. Take on some more serious work. Collect tributes from the leaders of the city's criminal gangs. What?
I don't know why I was surprised that the police of this city were corrupt, but obviously the best way to keep gangs in check is to demand some of their profit and look the other way. I first visited the Russian mafia, and Grisha tried to negotiate a new deal, but the Iron Doggy woofed rather loudly, and old mate changed his tune and paid up, which was a bit of a weird one. Bobo sadly was doing it rough, and his payment was light, so he asked if I could put in $100 of my own to cover for him. Because I am a nice guy with infinite money, I agreed. And at the nightclub, they straight up refused to pay, and Kazuma here tried to kick me out. I chose the flycatcher fighting style and countered his dodge build, and by force I took the tribute from the Yakuza. That was another achievement, and upon reporting my efforts to the Holosarge, I chose honesty and mentioned I'd helped Bobo with his payment, which caused a bit of outrage.
I got in trouble because I helped pay for Bobo. Fundamental value of this institution is strength.
I should have just bashed Bobo. Rookie mistake. Oh well, thankfully I did not get fired, but instead earned another increase in the speed of my paperwork. I bashed this fella again for some reason, and a couple of days later...
It is pretty fast. It's very fast, holy crap.
With this improvement to my paper pushing skills, I was easily able to max out progress for the day. When next I visited Apu's, which I guess is Jai's now, Jai was not happy.
A crime has been committed. I forgot when my mum's birthday is. Oh dear. You want me to beat the truth out of her? She's an old pirate. You'll never get anything out of her that way.
The only person to ask was Apu, so off I went.
One more time, fight. The crazy crocodile's training them. Hit the enemy right in his fat belly.
The anti-Bobo training appeared to be proceeding nicely. I asked Apu about his mum's birthday, and it is June 16th, everyone. That's coming up real soon, so don't forget to send her a present. I returned to Jai with this news, and the crisis was averted. I did another police shift, and my progress rocketed past 50%, prompting the Holosarge to hit me with another assignment.
A robot may not injure a human. They must obey orders given by humans, and they must protect their own existence, provided such protection doesn't conflict with the first or second law. Okay.
A robot was violating all three of these laws over at the Dream Lab, and apparently Emmett was too important to the corporation to be allowed to die, so off I went.
Project 2501. Don't get that reference either. He's exploring the world.
So I had a cyborg to defeat, because no world exploring is allowed, for some reason. I put together a flycatcher anti-agility setup and got punching, and he was indeed agile with the dodges, but it wasn't enough and he clattered to the floor in the first. Another quest done, and another achievement, but most intriguing was the fact that Emmett seemed to be somehow rather useful to the corporation. I earned faster patrol speed as a reward. 2 police shifts later, I received another assignment.
A policeman's feelings have been hurt? Oh dear.
Someone was hunting cops and it was absolute chaos. This vigilante was messing with every cop's most important possession, his cap. Without uniforms, the police would just be a bunch of hooligans causing chaos. But thanks to their caps, they are the law. They are justice. I asked the idiot at the front desk and he remembered something stinky. The cap-stealing vigilante was in the sewers. I then logged off for a bit and completely forgot about this quest. So I did another police shift and then I remembered, so I headed to the sewers.
Oh, free donuts. It's a trap. A police trap.
They really go hard on the stereotype of police liking donuts in this game. Donuts, donuts, donuts. But I am no ordinary policeman. I can overcome the lure of the donut. And I can follow the trap to its source. This well-dressed individual. The cap thief was stealing the hats to remind everyone that police should be more than just a uniform. They should embody good character, integrity, and justice. Sounds very reasonable to me. Too reasonable, actually. Therefore, violence. I used an anti-block build against this fella, and I expected it to be an easy one, but it looks like I may have run low on energy.
Oh dear. I can't beat this guy. No! What? Are you serious?
I recovered, got myself some illegal juice that pushed my strength up to 33, and returned for another round.
Bro, his blocks are crazy. He's too strong! How come I was beating the other stamina builds? What am I doing?
And then I realized.
Oh, I was using the wrong move. Bro, I'm so dumb. I just assumed it was on the right move. I was using the wrong move. I wasn't using the block penetration move. You silly sausage.
I switched all 4 of my attacks to liver kick, which has an improved chance to hit against blocks, and...
Let's see if I can kill him with this move instead. I feel like his health got lower. Did they nerf him? Yeah, this costs way less energy, but he's still hanging in there though. His blocks are crazy, dude. He use it all in and he'll kill himself, right? He should kill himself on all in. Okay, good. There we go. That's the hardest boss of the game, dude. Don't steal caps, you crazy man.
Another case solved, and another great story to tell the lads, improving my socializing skills. Also, another achievement. Wonderful stuff. As you can see, during my very next shift here, I was tantalizingly close to filling up the blue bar and reaching my promotion to sergeant. So at the end of the shift, I was offered many congratulations. They asked me what I thought the reward would be, and I said, a sports car. Something much cooler. From now on until the end of your life, the corporation will provide you with delicious donuts. And with that, I was finally caught up on all the achievements that I'd somehow missed earlier.
So I guess we're caught up on this random save file. So let's resume back on the other save file and pretend everything is normal.
Yes, indeed. Let us return to just before I became the champion of the Pro League. Welcome to the crescendo of Punch Club 2's story. As you may recall, after defeating Silver's League, Div 2 and Div 1 of the Pro League, I managed to earn over 9,000 good person points. But Barry had told me I had to wait for the paperwork to get my pass for the upper city, where I hoped to find my father. And in the meantime, he had a task for me. I needed to contact the janitor at Arpoo's using the password donut. The previous times I'd gone to get donuts were an attempt to contact him, but apparently he was a bit deaf or something. This time I made sure to yell about donuts rather loudly.
What do you got, janitor? The GPP chip. My dead partner. We work together in the police. What's his name, your partner? Philip Kendrick Dick. What happened with your partner? He got involved in some stuff and just disappeared. All that was left of him was this chip laying bloody in the streets. Is this Kay from earlier?
The janitor had stolen this chip from the evidence room at the police station, and thanks to Uncle Barry's donut password, it now passed to me.
Is this got something to do with the Hollow Sergeant and Kay? Why do you need a chip from some dead cop, huh? Need to know what he knew.
We needed to hack the chip somehow, so it was time to pay little Bobo a visit. I asked him if he could hack it.
Can you walk in the middle of a police station, take a whiz? I mean, if you go to the toilet at the police station, I'm probably take a whiz. If you say so, Bobo.
By the way, Big Bobo was strangely missing from the farm. Little Bobo said no one knows how to hack these particular chips.
The one thing we do know, as soon as you try to hack it, they send a squad of dudes in helmets right towards you.
Since Little Bobo was no help, I decided to contact Carla from the Resistance.
Maybe we can't open it, but we can scan it. How? Well, we'll need a memory scan device.
And to make one of those, I had some errands to run. First on the list, obtaining a scanning device from Dynamo.
We upgraded our basic killer robot model from T800 to T801 and it went a little crazy. There's a war going on out there, it's been going on for years. But with the latest generation of killer robots, the situation may soon... There's a war? The corporation and the resistance are fighting somewhere outside the city. What the heck? Where's Grisha? He's just walking the dog. Can I go to the war and start punching people?
This T801 robot had gone rogue and now just wanted to party at the nightclub.
That is a good dance. I love that dance.
I decided that bargaining with the groovy fella was the way to go. So I made him a mojito in exchange for his return to the Robo Factory. And with that, Dynamo was willing to hand over the scanning device. Next on the list was a scanning algorithm, which Glotus the robot could help me with. But first, she was lonely.
How can I help you with your loneliness? You want a boyfriend? Oh. What about Rusty Robot? What kind of guys do you like? Ambition and purpose, and he doesn't give up. Lots of friends. He has the makings of a leader. And he has to be a robot, obviously.
And so I headed back to the Robo Factory to look for a boyfriend robot. And I called it. The most elite boyfriend material on offer was Rusty Robot.
Oh, he's actually got stats now. What the hell? He's got good stats now. Oh, great.
He actually had a pretty juicy stamina build, so I went with the tried and true strategy.
I need to try and take him out in the first round. His blocks are nuts. He actually could have been hard with that much stamina. Stamina's a pretty tough build. He's just ahead. How will humanity ever kiss my shiny butt if I don't have one? That's true. It's a great question. Do you need the shiny butt in order to be satisfied with your robo boyfriend? Hey sexy mama, you ready to kill all the people?
Clearly this is a match made in heaven, and soon Glotus handed over the scanning algorithm. And finally, I needed some scanning software from little Bobo, and he had a secret to share.
He hates his father. I don't think that's a big secret. He hates him for what he did to the slimes. He enslaved them. He's exploiting them in a terrible way. I've spent enough time here to realize they're intelligent.
The big secret was, little Bobo was helping the slimes escape from the farm. However, his planned escape route in the sewers was blocked, so it was my job to go clear the blockage.
Here we go, I found it. Wait, what? Another box of seashells. Release as many slimes as possible before Bobo gets back. It's a revolution. There's a revolution happening all around the city, including at Bobo's slime farm.
And so I received the software I needed. As I was leaving, little Bobo randomly mentioned something alarming.
Nobody's ever come back from the upper city? What? That doesn't sound good.
And I combined the device with the algorithm and the software. I trained to restore my tonus, just in case these story quests got me in any more fights. And in order to inspire the memory stored in the chip to surface, I needed to use the scanning device I'd crafted somewhere familiar to the chip. And since this GPP chip did indeed belong to a cop, the police station was the right choice. So I whipped out the scan device, used it on the cop's GPP chip, and...
Flash her back. Get those slow feet moving, rookie. Time to get some donuts for your superiors.
That fella with the white hair looks like the Holo Sergeant. The next flashback showed the Holo Sarge grilling the new recruit again. And this time, Janitor Cop was here to commiserate. And he called our cop Phil, the same name belonging to the mysterious K we'd encountered way back when at the noodle bar. A third flashback confirmed this. And in this one, Phil had proven himself to the Holo Sarge and they became good friends. And he gave him the nickname K. So the GPP chip I was scanning did indeed belong to the Holo Sarge's ex-partner.
This is K. Yeah, that's K. So, is Kay dead?
One final scan showed me what case Kay had been investigating. While he was shooing off a telemarketer from Pharmacom, Dynamo walked in to tell Kay that her boyfriend had been missing for a week. Carl Hauser was his name.
He mentioned some club a few days before he disappeared.
This opened up a whole bunch of investigation options, as I was able to use the scanning device not only on the cop's GPP chip the janitor had given me, but also on 5 curious individuals around the city, all of whom held information that could help unravel the mystery of what exactly was wrong in this strange place. I still wasn't maxed out on tonus, so I did a little more training. I then tried to follow Kay's lead to the nightclub, but it was daytime again.
The nightclub's not open, so we're going to do this instead. Go talk to the delivery man.
What?
Yeah, fired. Didn't you fire him like 5 years ago? Why does this keep happening?
This time I scanned the delivery boss himself, rather than Kay's chip. So I got a flashback from his life.
Oh, is the weird lion the head of the corporation?
Basically, the weird lion was instating this fella as head of the delivery service as thanks for his help. But essentially, he was a puppet for the Lion Man's mysterious boss. He was a pawn for the corporation. I next made Silver look so I could scan him at the gym.
Gave them a magic medallion to a gangster? This is back in the first game. Flashbacks to the first game, man. What is wrong with Silver? Silver's an idiot, bro.
Basically, this confirmed that for all his faults, Silver wasn't lying earlier when he'd mentioned a mysterious medallion in connection with my father. I next scanned Bobo.
Bobo was given the facility by the weird lion as well.
The lion explained that slimes had evolved from worms contaminated by chemical waste, and it was a happy coincidence that they are made of juicy protein perfect for human consumption.
Alright, so Bobo and the delivery guy are both very afraid of the lion weirdo, and the lion weirdo has a boss. Even more terrifying.
I next visited the Robo factory, and it turns out Grisha is not the boss of the Russian mafia. And he claimed I'd seen his boss many times, but never noticed him.
I saw his boss many times, but I just never paid attention. Wait, is that the boss? Is it Fluffy?
No, that is not the boss, but I was kind of close. The boss of the Russian mafia is the Iron Doggy, if you can believe that.
How have you enjoyed the transition, Boria?
Apparently the corporation had put Borya's consciousness into the dog in order to punish and control him.
Doesn't your boss hate dogs?
It is Fluffy. The boss hates dogs.
The boss is Fluffy, the evil genius. The head of the corporation is Fluffy. I'm calling it right now.
The Russian mafia's job was to create infinite robots to fight for the corporation in the war against the resistance.
Are you Fluffy? Is it you? You diabolical cat.
For the record, that is not Fluffy, that is an innocent cat.
Let's see if Kay's chip remembers this place.
After learning more about how the corporation controls literally everyone in the city, it was time to follow Kay's trail some more. Dynamo had shown Kay a photo of her missing boyfriend Carl, and Kay recognized him sitting over here. But he denied that he was Carl, and he didn't seem to remember that he even had a girlfriend. And this distinguished gentleman called him Schmal, so clearly something fishy was afoot.
How come Carl doesn't remember who he is? I think some mad scientist who knows about memory tricks can help me.
So my next stop was Emmett's Dream Lab, but first, a flashback from the Yakuza boss. And what do you know, another spooky meeting with a lion head dingus.
This guy is a puppet for the Lion Man too. I mean, a lion representing Fluffy the cat would make sense.
They were developing a power juice to increase the effectiveness of GPP chips, and they demanded the Yakuza test it by putting it in their noodles, which explains why there were multiple instances of people going crazy when eating noodles.
Give me that flashback, give me that memory. Back when this place wasn't quite so unhinged. Dynamo's boyfriend Carl, can't remember who he is, tell me Emmett. He had a patient with a similar problem.
Emmett had given Kay Carl's address, so Kay had headed to investigate. Back in the present day, off I went too, towards the tower.
Carl's place isn't looking great, you know. Let's scan it.
Here we see Carl tied up as Kay arrives to investigate.
Look at this weird robot thing up here, what the heck?
And just as Kay realized that Carl was in fact dead, police arrived. And it dawned on Kay that Emmett had set him up, giving him this address so they could frame him for Carl's murder and put him away where he'd never be able to ask troublemaking questions again. Luckily, he was able to find one clue, a part from the Robo Factory, so he fled through the open window with it. I of course went to the factory junkyard next. This flashback showed Kay finding a part that was an exact match to what he'd found in Carl's apartment. And if Kay could scan the serial number on it at the police station, he might be able to figure out where to head next. But he of course was a fugitive now, and he could not go to the police station himself.
There's only one person in the whole precinct I can still trust.
He called his partner Martin, who we know better as the Hollow Sarge, and Martin was able to run the number and figure out that the last shipment went to the slime farm, and so that was Kay's next destination. Martin offered to ride shotgun with him, but Kay told him not to risk himself, and he went alone. I of course headed to Bobo's slime farm and scanned Kay's GPP chip yet again.
It's a party, man. Who's this guy? It's always cramped when you're in the room, Bobo. So all of these people are working for... Who's this? Every single one of you has played a crucial role in my boss's success, and he wishes to thank you all accordingly. So where is he? Unfortunately, something has come up. Oh, there's Kay, by the way. I'll be his representative today and in the foreseeable future.
When the old Japanese fella gave some lip, it didn't end well for him.
Oh, they just vaporized that old Japanese fella. My boss is very thankful. That is why you're all in such high-ranking positions across the city. But as you can see, no one is irreplaceable. They made a hollow version of him?
After some experimentation, the corporation had figured out how to work with memories to create hollow versions of people. And the subject of those experiments was of course Carl, Dynamo's now dead boyfriend.
We don't really need anyone's compliance anymore. The Russian mafia will join us. Even if we have to turn every single one of you into holograms.
This fella chilling with the beverage was clearly the head of the Russian mafia, and he chose to defy the corporation, strolling out with high belligerence. But we know how that ended up. He was killed, and he had his consciousness put into the metal doggy at the Robo junkyard. And so it was that the corporation solidified its hold on the city, with absolute power and tyranny. Just then, Kay was hit by another form of tyranny. A telemarketer from Pharmacom Industries gave him a call, and goose on the loose that he is, he didn't have his phone on silent. And so, with his hiding spot revealed, he burst forth to declare that the entire army of goobers were under arrest.
I don't know what miracle you were hoping for, but this is the only one you've got coming. Oh, Martin comes out with a big save. It was an honor to work with you. Run! Now that's an interesting development. And there's the Hollow Sarge. Find Kay and bring him to me as your first task as a Hollow Sarge. I suspect he ran for the town ghetto. That's where most rats go. Okay, this is outrageous.
So that explains exactly what happened between Kay and Martin, and how they went from fast friends to enemies, as the corporation murdered Martin and manipulated his memories to work for them in the form of the Hollow Sarge. And so Kay was forced to flee.
I only want what's best for you. I'm your friend, Kay. My friend died today protecting me. You're just wearing his skin. City's too small for you to hide from the corporation. The corporation or that killer mutant, or maybe the gangs. Oh wait, they're all the same thing. Everything is controlled by the corporation. You know full well that you won't last a week on the outside. Make peace with what you've seen and return to the police, or we'll do it for you. Those are the easy options. But I've always been a hard case. You can't make me a hologram without a chip. Is he gonna rip his chip out?
Well, that is quite the wild tale of daring do, no doubt about it. Time to report my findings to Uncle Barry.
I found out what happened to Uncle Barry. Surely Uncle Barry works for the monster as well.
I told the uncle everything.
I have something to tell you too, my boy. Kay? Kay's Uncle Barry? Did you gut Uncle Barry? What the heck? Uncle Barry never existed. I made him up for a cover. Uncle Barry's last trick. I found myself wandering through the dirty streets with a big black hole where my memories of the last 8 years were supposed to be. but the league in your office and everything.
So Kay had a giant gap in his memory from ripping out his GPP chip. And I guess he kind of used me. He prompted me to look into things in the city as a way to piece together what was missing from his memory so that he could continue the fight. When Kay had first met me way back when on a rainy night at the Noodle Bar, I'd been so fired up to become a boxing champ that he was inspired to establish the Pro League and make some money to earn the resources to take on the corporation. And so he created the disguise of Uncle Barry.
The feds are already headed here and to a resident in the southwest part of the city, but how do they track us? And what is that beeping in my pocket? Oh, it's your badge. I kept the badge with me with the tracker on it the whole time.
They were headed to a residence in the southwest of the city, which sounded like it could be my mum's house, so I rushed there immediately, leaving Kay to fend for himself, in a shootout to the death, by the looks of it. Which is a bit of a disappointing end for a character that's come so far, but whatever.
Mum, we need to go now. Uh-oh. Really? And where do you think you're going?
Astronaut Catface Weirdo here was impressed by my will to fight to the last, just like my old man, implying that he was involved in whatever had happened to my father 20 years ago. The tyranny of the corporation runs deep.
Here's what's gonna happen now, Karate Kid. You're either coming with... Get down. What the... Who's this? Henry? Carla, are you a... Oh, it's Car. It's Carla. Carla the car. Run! Thwarted. Thwarted, you stupid lion.
And so we zoomed forth out of the city and into the wilderness. And it turns out Carla is a car. Fair enough. Handy for high-speed getaways, I guess.
We have to go back for my mum. If they do have her, then it's a trap. Where are we going then? To the Resistance base, of course. Our leader wants to meet you. Oh, you mean the real Resistance? We're in the desert, man. Holy crap. Look around. From this moment on, everything is real. The Resistance, the threat, the war. Like they say, welcome to the real world. It looks sad. What happened here? Nuclear war. That's what happened. Or as we called it, the catastrophe. No one knows who pulled the trigger, but when the dust from nuclear mushrooms settled, all that was left outside the city was a scorched desert. And everything that's left inside the city now belongs to the corporation. They established total control and chipped almost everyone. The rest had no choice but to leave. And they became the Resistance? No, kiddo, they all died.
The corporation was sending out robots made by the Russian mafia to track down and kill people outside the city. I knew the dystopian future in this game was grim, but it keeps getting grimmer.
If it weren't for our leader and Frank, we'd have been dead a long time ago. Frank's from the first game, isn't it?
We soon arrived at the Resistance base.
This is a big moment. People say that if anyone can save us, it's you. So is my dad the leader of the Resistance? Casey!
Mr. Seagull out of nowhere. From the sewers to Resistance HQ. As he led me through, he explained his part in the story. Basically, he'd stayed in the city to keep an eye on me. And as I complained that I'd almost made it into the upper city, he told me to be patient. All was about to be revealed.
What the heck is going on? The Resistance is popping off. I thought being in the Resistance meant living on the brink of extinction. It's the brother in the first game. My dad's brother. Ha! With the burns. Well, hello, nephew. It's time to kick Mick's cat in his filthy tail, right? To be honest, I don't understand what you're talking about at all. You didn't tell him? Didn't tell me what? I thought you wanted to tell him. Damn, it's all me again. Alright, nephew, listen.
Yes, indeed. My dad's brother was the leader of the Resistance. And he told me of my dad's magical medallion and how its strange power had mutated the infamous cat, Fluffy.
And in the darkness under the couch, cold and hungry, the feline's hatred of humanity grew. Fluffy wised up. He became more clever than the most dangerous criminal in the world. He became an evil genius. But your dad, also known as the Dark Fist, crushed the evil genius, also known as Fluffy. We thought the trouble would end there. But the trouble was only just beginning. In the meantime, your dad and I have spent our days searching for our father's killer. But then when we finally got to our father's killer...
You may recall from the first game, as it turned out our father's killer was our father.
Oh, Fluffy out of nowhere with the injection. What? Brother, wait, what just happened?
My grandfather disappeared through a portal, probably to go bother a graveyard keeper, and...
That's the moment it began. The catastrophe. And from the ashes, the corporation rose. The nukes are flying, bro. The only thing I could do was go on the run and resist.
So the evil leader behind the corporation was indeed the cat, Fluffy, who had taken my father captive 20 years ago. But don't worry, because someone named Frank had a plan.
And now that you're here, we have everything we need to put Frank's plan into action. So gentlemen, follow me. It's showtime. But who's that woman on the throne? That's just for show. Okay. Come in, make yourself at home. Nephew, this is Frank. Frank, this is my nephew. Is Frank a dolphin? Show some respect. This is a cybernetic dolphin whose mind is connected directly to the internet. Not to mention the dark web and WTF net. Long story short, Frank is the best hacker in the world, and he's just the guy we need to hack up a city. Plus, he's my best friend. What? Hofte vituk re labshvav kuf yabak shudadak ok chodi desjud kichim vijabab. He said he came up with a name for the operation, catharsis.
And it turned out I had a thing or two to learn about the Upper City.
Upper City isn't a city, it's a program, or a cage. It's the VR program where my father has been kept. We don't know how, but we know every program can be turned off somehow. In this case, like the classic song From the Inside. Yeah, we gotta get in there. Frank says he can get you in, then you'll find the switch that turns off the simulation, and then your father will be free and the cat will get punched in the face.
So I guess it was time to plug into the Matrix to take down the corporation from the inside out.
Yeah, I'm ready to go into VR, man. Let's go. Then buckle your seatbelt, Dorothy, because Kansas is going bye-bye. We have no idea what you're heading into, but on the plus side, Frank can upload all the martial arts in the world for you.
And so it was that I headed into VR land, with a word of warning not to believe everything I saw in there.
Plus that cat, it's not just a cat anymore. It's a beast, Satan in fur, Moriarty with a mustache, so please be careful. And by any means, at any cost, shut down that damn program. Wait, what if I was adopted? What if I was adopted? That's a cool screen, man. Henry will never believe this, man. So what's next, and where's the tail I'm supposed to kick? Welcome to Upper City. And I'm afraid you'll never get to that tail. Meow. Why not, cat? I'll crush every minion you put in my path. Fluffy. I thought so too, so I prepared for this. I have studied you. You're strong, but you can't make difficult decisions. You can't sacrifice the ones you care about. You can't sacrifice someone who did something really important for you. Someone who brought you food. Huh? What's he talking about? Well, hello, beached thing. What are you doing here?
Even in the VR Matrix, I can't escape this absolute prime dingus. What's worse, he went on a rant telling an extremely boring story. But basically, this was the first opponent of the quote-unquote Upper City.
Oh, dude, what is going on? I can redistribute my stats? Why can I do that? Wait, what? Oh, I can do anything I want? Oh, that's why I can redistribute my stats.
Yes, indeed. Dolphin Man had uploaded every single fighting style in the game for me, so I had complete freedom to approach the fight however I wanted.
Let's try a Scorpion build then. I don't know.
In the early game, I'd flirted with the idea of skilling into the agility tree, but obviously I decided to go with strength. Now was my chance to experiment. I used attacks to steal energy and pierce through blocks. I used a dodge that reflects 60% of the damage back, and modifiers to further improve my block penetration, dodge chance, and to steal his initiative. And as you can see, I pushed my agility up to 33.
Dodge. Oh yeah, good dodging so far. Oh no, he didn't do that much damage though. I'm using a lot of energy. I didn't restore any energy between rounds, but I think I can take him. Okay, successful agility build. Deliver that, you infantile moron.
And so I defeated the first challenge of the VR gauntlet.
Gold. An unexpected twist.
Gold ranted about how much he hated me and my father, but I didn't believe a word of it since Fluffy is of course the architect of this place. Nonetheless, I had to defeat the old fella to progress. He also had a block heavy build, so I decided to roll with the exact same strategy.
I think I'm gonna go with the same agility build, man. I feel good about it. Agility build popping off, man. I might knock him down here. Yeah. Boof. Get some gold, silver, idiot.
My next opponent was Bobo Jr., who had apparently decided he needed to protect his dad, who was set to be digitized by the corporation if I wasn't stopped. Again, this was all VR, so who knows, but it was time to fight. He had an agility build with a pretty embarrassing health pool, so it seemed a great option was a strength flycatcher build with anti-dodge and damage reflection, which is pretty much the way I'd been tackling agility opponents this entire playthrough. It was rather effective in this fight too.
No worries. The flycatcher comes in clutch. Bon appetit, Bobo. Interesting. You ruthlessly cram the faces of those who fed you. Maybe this time it won't be as predictable as usual. Show yourself, you sneaky little Meowth. Don't you worry, we'll meet very, very soon.
Very soon indeed. Just a short walk through the weird blue retro cyberscape later, I found myself face to face with the villainous Fluffy. But he held in his paws the very thing that would stop me in my tracks.
And now with its help, I'll be able to control this giant robot. Oh dear. Time to bend some iron. BF Giant Robot 9000. Holy crap, look at this dude. He's got 99 stamina. Excuse me? Energy, he's got a giant energy shield on top of, okay. Like any AI, it has bugs. All energy goes to maintaining the energy shield, does not restore energy in battle. When energy is depleted, the robot switches to backup power plus 300 on knockdown. What the hell, dude?
He was a big blocky boy with impossibly chunky stats, so I switched to a Smasher anti-block build and hoped for the best.
Just gonna use Smasher and see what happens. Can I get through the energy shield? Is this actually a real fight? I'm so confused.
As you can tell, I wasn't even sure if it was possible to win this fight. I switched my skills a bit, subbing in damage tolerance, which ignores attacks under 11 damage, and some skills to hopefully waste his initiative. The damage tolerance skill was nullifying some attacks, and I was steadily chewing through his massive energy shield. But after round 2, things still felt rather dicey.
Let's try one that you focus on exhausting the enemy. Take a small amount of health. Okay, some health steal. Take a smaller amount of energy. Okay, some energy steal. Great. Waste more of his energy. Great. He kicks. So let's try to get some good blocks up against kicks. Spend significantly more energy when a leg attack is blocked. So if I can block his leg attacks, I might be able to drain his energy. And I used attacks to pierce his blocks and drain his energy too. With this switch to a stamina build, it's fair to say I took significantly less damage during round 3. I was getting low on energy though, so I skipped one attack for round 4, during which I whittled down his energy shield to a mere 12. And I didn't notice, but if you look at his skills, a lot of them are malfunctioning symbols. So he was having serious errors by this point, making his movement slow and his damage low. And so in the 5th, the robot definitely had very little left in the tank. I think he's gonna regen energy. Wait, did I win? Or not? I actually did win? Yeah, I didn't think so. Now I've got to get through his actual health. So it's like a phase 2, but my health restarted. He reflects 25% damage, but increases his damage received by 30%. He's got so much health.
For this leg of the fight, he was a completely different beast. Phase 1, he was stamina, but now he was rocking 99 strength.
Should I use his stamina build against him again? He doesn't have that much energy this time. Give me 3 cleavers. We'll try and burn through his energy. Same strategy, but this time we're just aiming to burn through energy. Big blocks. He is using a lot of energy and not doing much damage. I get some health back, actually. Oh no. He uses so much energy when he kicks. Holy crap. Let's skip one attack.
Using the torturer fighting style meant the robot was unable to regenerate energy between rounds. But I was tapped for energy too, so I had to begin skipping attacks. And it seemed impossible to get a knockdown on the big fella.
Alright, go in with 3 and try and get him. We gotta try and get a knockdown here when he's on such low energy. Come on, get a knockdown. Oh, why aren't we getting a knockdown?
While I was despairing the lack of knockdowns, the reality is the fight was going very well for me. He was dealing minimal damage to me thanks to my blocks, I was regenerating health thanks to my health steal attack, and while he never fell to the floor, he was perpetually starved for energy, reducing the amount of attacks he was able to get off.
He's starved, so he can't do any damage. When he does try and do damage, he does barely anything anyway. Stamina build's good against a big fat idiot that you can starve for energy.
And in the 8th round, I was finally able to wear down the big fella, and then began phase 3.
He bends space. It's nearly impossible to dodge his attacks, nearly impossible to block his attacks, and he's nearly impossible to hit. Okay. Well, I think the writing is on the wall for this one. We need a berserker build.
Yes indeed, I hoped to simply reflect back as much damage as possible, but the big fella had a pretty big health pool, so it wasn't exactly a foolproof approach. Also, he had an absolutely bonkers amount of initiative, and I couldn't land a hit to save my life. Such was the power of his dodginess. After 2 rounds, it wasn't looking great, so I said,
what the hell am I supposed to do? The more damage the robot suffers, the more often it makes mistakes. Just try again one more time.
The hope here was that I'd chip away enough damage to cause more robot errors, which would in turn allow me to land some hits and edge my way into the fight. And as you can see, this actually panned out decently well for me in round 3, as I managed to land some respectable damage.
Keep trying. Oh gosh. Why does it keep going? Give me a turn. Oh, it's actually so close. I need the first attack, please. I did not get the first attack. No!
Suddenly, I was back in the chair, but I had no say in the matter, and I was launched back into the VR world to try again. This was a gauntlet that I had no choice but to defeat. I'd gotten pretty far on my first attempt, but I was gonna have to come up with a better strategy if I wanted to beat Fluffy. I was despairing that I'd have to beat all these idiots again as well, but fortunately Frank chimed in to give me codes with which I could skip the delivery doofus, Gold, and Little Bobo. So thankfully I was able to jump right to another attempt against the evil genius Fluffy and his BF giant robot 9000. For the first robot, the big one with the energy shield, I went straight in with a stamina build and aimed to outlast him like I did last time, considering he was unable to regenerate energy between rounds. This time it took until round 9 for him to finally run low on energy.
I actually got a knockdown on him. Oh, that means he restored a lot of energy though. Ah! That's not good. Oh, he's landing his kicks. What's going on? You're supposed to block those, dude.
And so I actually performed a fair bit worse, but lucky for me, all I needed is the win, because going into phase 2, you of course get all your health and energy back. I once again stuck with what worked last time to defeat the 99 strength robot, the Torture stamina build once more. When he was low on energy, he was unable to deal much damage, and I was restoring health every time I did an attack. So I wore him down in the War of Attrition and took the win in the 7th round.
Now, this is where we got up to. I think the play is the same as what I did last time, but what I forgot to do last time. You know what? For the memes,
I decided to roll with a 1 agility and a 1 stamina build, because with 78 strength, my health pool ballooned to 793.
we're just gonna hope to hit him, but I don't want to run out of energy, so I'm gonna skip a bunch of attacks and see what happens. But it's all about reflecting damage back. This could be a terrible strategy. It's the 78 strength strategy with 2 initiative. All right, here we go. I mean, he's dealing a lot of damage back to himself, but I don't know if it's enough. I might have to try and... Oh, I better try and land some attacks too. If I can land like 1 or 2 attacks, I'll probably be okay. Oh! No. Okay. The get punched in the face strategy is, I don't think it's working. I don't think it's working. Maybe I can, if he runs out of energy though. Oh, if I can land one of those hits. Oh, I just need to land one. If I land 1 punch, I reckon it's going to do so much damage. Do I just keep going and pray that I land punch? No, he's pulling ahead. Oh no, what do I do?
But with his health heavily depleted, he was now suffering some errors, so there was always hope that the fight would swing as he became worse at dodging.
I just desperately need... Oh, I landed 1. Oh, I landed 2. All right. Okay, we gotta get some agility. Where's my initiative, dude? Why isn't my initiative going up? Please. Is it just bugged? Okay, I've got it now. No, dude. Oh, yes, I hit him. Ah. The big strats. This fat idiot getting punched in the face strat. Love it. What a surprise. The evening is becoming less tiresome by the minute. That kitty definitely has a bad tempo. So it's not over? Oh, it's not over, bro. This is the architect of the Matrix indeed. You know the funniest thing? None of this is a problem at all. The spinning chair. I was never trying to avoid this confrontation. It was inevitable, and thus not beyond a measure of control. Which is why, after all, you're finally here. No more stalling. I'm putting an end to this Goodness gracious. Do you know how many times I've heard you say that? How many times I've seen you standing exactly where you're standing right now? What are you talking about? You've come here to turn off this simulation. That's over 100 million times already. Oh goodness. This time's different though, Fluffy.
And as you can see, we're still very much online. I've studied you to the core. I've followed you since you were born, thanks to the chip that Emmett kindly installed in your mother's head. Ah, the big fruit-sized chip. While I was out having fun with your daddy. Why did you do all this? Because they didn't feed you? Of course not. Because of the medallion, it gave me strength. With it, I'll toy with the planet like a cat ball. But you see, apparently the medallion can't be taken from its owner without defeating him. And your father... There he is! Is hard as hell to beat. You got my dad! For the last 20 years, his entire life has been a never-ending virtual battle. But now nothing can stop me from turning off the simulation and freeing him. And now, we come to the most interesting part. You see, he's been in the simulation for so long he can hardly survive outside of it. In other words, if you turn off the simulation, your father will die. You filthy animal. Bad kitty. Bad kitty. I had an extensive session manhandling Fluffy and telling him how bad of a kitty he is, but that did not change the fact that I had a big decision on my hands. If I chose to turn off Upper City, the real city would be free from the tyranny of Fluffy and the corporation, but my father would die. If I left it on, he'd survive, but only in VR purgatory. So I chose to turn off the Upper City, defying Fluffy's expectations. Son. Dad. I'm proud of you. And so I had sacrificed my own father to save the city. But it's what he would have wanted, noble hero that he is. And then, in true Punch Club fashion, I was abducted by aliens. I'm not sure I even understand what the hell just happened, dude. But I'm pretty sure ET kidnapped me, which is a good ending. That's the 100%, 66 out of 66. Huzzah. Including the backup save file shenanigans, I think I managed to beat the game in about 180 days. So apologies for the missing 20 days, but close enough. Cheers.